Good morning. How are you? Well, it's going to be a scorcher, and that's why I'm out in the morning. Also, uh, it's nice to be in this kind of a groove. Yesterday, I had writing my cases to do. We had visits from people working with Holly, so it was a pretty busy day. Uh, and as a result, a bunch of stories have accumulated. Let's talk about the Queen for a second. I watched old TV shows. There's a part of me that enjoys it as a story, but I feel soiled when I think of celebrating royalty at any time in history, including the present. Everything about royalty is about against us, individuals, and it presumes a divine right still. And I just don't get it. I was upset even in high school reading how Adams was such a strong monarchist, and so was Hamilton. And when the war with England was underway and the early Federalists favored Great Britain, I always liked Jefferson's favorite, which was the French. So that's one thing about that. That's just my personal peak. Maybe you enjoy watching Ermine and prestige and position with millions and millions of dollars for these people to wander around and cut ribbons. Sorry, but that's all I see. Uh, the ordinary person in America is not like these people. I don't know if you read about, I think her name is Christian Seal, and she is one of the people who are suffering in our current economy. And she would probably be suffering anyhow, living, you know, uh, week to week. And what she's done for her two children in order to sustain them, and she gives plasma on a weekly basis, and she takes supplements and so forth so she can do that. So she's literally selling her blood in order to take care of her children. So when some parents say, I would bleed or suffer for you, and they would if it came to that. But this is a woman, unlike others who are finding other remedies in a difficult economy to take care of their family. And their children come first. So that's a good statement about people. It's a bad statement about civilization, because if this is how we treat our own, when we put away the money that we could help people after the COVID, then we're failing as a nation. But we see it in so many areas that we could be overcome by the multivariant ways that our society is coming apart. And it's time that we showed some discipline, and we're not doing that, and we have to. Among the heroes that I have personally is a guy named Don Ross. When I was a student in high school, he was several years ahead of me, but he was visible. He had a profile. He had a friendliness. He had a common way about him. And he was political in his orientation, in a sense of change, not change for change's sake, but to do things better. And so at the school, when he got to the college, he brought football back to the college. But he did it with the kind of energy that years later, after he left school, after 3 Mile Island, he organized an anti-nuclear rally because of the dangers of the radiation. You know, people talk about greenhouse gases. That's not what the problem is with nuclear. The problem with nuclear is radiation that goes on for thousands of years. And so he just died a few days ago. And he was my personal hero, because as much as the Kennedys were my first political heroes, I saw him actually work. I saw how he did it. I attended meetings with him and so forth. And that kind of action, whether you're as a citizen or as a person who takes on politics as a profession, that's what we need. And we don't have it. We have a bunch of cowards in office afraid of losing the next election. You know, that line from Mel Brooks. Oh my God, there's a problem. We have to protect our phony baloney jobs. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And so we need more heroes. And one of the reasons we need them is right now because we have guns killing children, gun pushers who are aligned with NRA gun manufacturers and who care more about their phony baloney job than actually taking care of business. And point north, look at Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada. He is going to ban all assault weapons. We're going to buy them. And also, he's going to stop the sale of handguns right now. And he's going to have all sorts of alerts. That's what a politician does. Is he my hero? Certainly is on this issue. You know, and he's following other nation states, unlike America, like Australia and so forth, who did the same thing years ago. And we can't do that here. That means our government is broken, because every one of us would do it, except for the gun nuts. And they are gun nuts. And they are people who care less about their children than this shibboleth that somehow guns make them safer and protect them. Obviously, it does exactly the opposite. We have a dearth of intelligent people in America who support these crazy ideas. And it surprises me, having known Republicans my whole life and worked with them, that the Republican Party has been taken over by these yahoos and that they're not fighting back. We saw some fight back in Georgia. I suppose that's because they don't think it can sell in the general election. We need something more sincere. Seneca said the fates either lead you to your destiny or drag you to it. Our politicians, when they do the right thing, they're dragged to it. They don't seize it. Not like a Don Ross. Not like the woman who's giving blood every week to sustain her children. So this is what we're dealing with. And if you want another example on top of everything else, seeking and accounting, what's going on with Peter Navarro? Why is this guy not arrested? Why isn't he called into the grand jury, told he's a target, because he probably is, and told we have enough to indict you, and then told, look, cooperate with us and we'll give you a deal. That's the way it works. When I was a prosecutor, more than once I said, you know, we're putting people on a bus, the people who are cooperating. And there's going to come a point where we're going to pull out of the station, and you're either on that bus or you're under it. These people who would have brought down our country are worse than many of the crimes that we could consider, short of perhaps killing children because we care not to protect them. So why aren't we after these people? A year and 5, 6 months? And is he going to do the little things? You're going to call him to the grand jury. When the assistant U.S. attorney says we should indict this bastard, they don't do it. Not acceptable. Anyhow, that's what I got for today. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.